The Miller family had a tradition that filled their home with laughter, anticipation, and a touch of magic every December. Each year, just as the first snowflakes began to fall, a small elf named Pip would mysteriously appear. His job? To watch over Lily and Tom, the Miller children, and report their every move to Santa Claus himself. The children adored Pip. Every morning, they would leap out of bed, racing through the house to find where he'd hidden overnight. Their giggles echoed through the halls as they discovered Pip's clever, sometimes mischievous new hiding spots. But not everyone in the Miller household was delighted by Pip's arrival. Jasper, the family's sleek black cat, watched the festivities with narrowed, suspicious eyes. For 5 years Jasper had ruled the house, his sunning spot, his favorite lap, his routine. He was the undisputed king of his domain, and he liked it that way. Now, a silent, staring doll in a red suit threatened his kingdom. Pip's fixed grin and unblinking eyes seemed to mock Jasper's authority. Jasper watched with growing irritation as Mrs. Miller placed Pip on the mantelpiece, the elf's plastic eyes gleaming in the firelight, as if daring Jasper to make a move. The children squealed, "Pip's back!" Their excitement filled the room, but Jasper only narrowed his eyes, feeling the insult of being upstaged in his own home. This house wasn't big enough for both a kingly cat and a tiny red-clad spy. Jasper's tail twitched with annoyance as he sized up his new rival from across the room. As the family settled in for a holiday movie, Jasper's gaze never left the mantelpiece. He was determined to keep a close eye on Pip, no matter what. Barnaby, the golden retriever, snored on the floor. No help at all. The dog was blissfully unaware of the brewing rivalry, lost in dreams of treats and belly rubs. Jasper knew he was on his own. The challenge had been issued, and he was ready to accept. He would not let a plastic elf steal his throne. The battle for the Miller household had begun, even if only Jasper knew it. And as the snow fell softly outside, the stage was set for a holiday showdown unlike any other. When the house fell silent and the last light flickered out, Jasper sprang into action, his paws barely making a sound on the cool floorboards. He crept to the mantel, his tail twitching with anticipation, eyes fixed on Pip's smug smile in the moonlight, as if the elf was daring him to try something. With a graceful leap, Jasper landed beside the elf, sniffed the air for any sign of trouble, and gave Pip a gentle, calculated pat with his velvety paw. The elf wobbled, teetering on the edge, then tipped over with a soft plink. Victory was his, but the night's adventure was just beginning. Jasper batted Pip across the mantel, watching the doll spin, then picked him up gently in his mouth and hopped down, careful not to wake anyone. He trotted to the sleeping Barnaby, the family's loyal dog, and deposited Pip right by the dog's nose, a mischievous glint in his eyes. The next morning, Lily's excited shout echoed through the house, bringing everyone running. "Pip's by Barnaby!" she cried, her voice full of wonder and confusion. Mrs. Miller sighed, shaking her head with a knowing smile. "You must have knocked Pip down with your tail, Barnaby," she said, as the children gathered around. Barnaby blinked, utterly clueless, while Jasper purred contentedly from his armchair, watching the scene unfold with satisfaction. The perfect crime. Jasper's plan had worked flawlessly, and no one suspected a thing. The family blamed the dog, and Jasper relished his secret triumph, his whiskers twitching with pride as he watched from afar. Each morning, the mystery deepened, and Jasper's confidence soared. He strutted through the house like a shadowy detective, always one step ahead. The elf was no match for feline cunning, and Jasper knew the game was his to win. The game was on, and Jasper was winning, his playful spirit turning every night into a new adventure. The household had a new, unseen mischief maker, and Jasper was more than happy to keep everyone guessing. Mrs. Miller moved Pip to the top of the tall floor lamp, declaring him safe from wagging tails. The children giggled, but Jasper saw a new challenge. When night fell, Jasper shimmied up the lamp, determined. He reached the top, glared at Pip's cheerful face, and gave him a swift shove. Pip tumbled down, landing softly on the carpet. Jasper nudged the elf under Barnaby's favorite squeaky squirrel toy, then gave Pip's hat a little chew for good measure. The next morning, Tom couldn't find Pip, until Lily spotted him by the dog bed. Mr. Miller picked up the elf and grinned. "Barnaby, you naughty boy. Did you think Pip was your toy?" Barnaby wagged his tail, oblivious to the setup. Jasper watched from the sofa, licking his paw, satisfied. The dog was just too easy to blame. Each night, Jasper's schemes grew bolder. The family's laughter only fueled his mischief. The elf's adventures were just beginning. To keep Pip safe, Mrs. Miller perched him atop the birdcage, home to parakeets Sunny and Sky. The children thought it was brilliant. Jasper saw an irresistible invitation. That night, Jasper scaled the cage, ignoring the sleeping birds. With a flick, Pip tumbled into a pile of birdseed and feathers. Jasper, ever creative, picked up the elf and left a trail of feathers from the dining room to Barnaby's bed. He dropped feathers on the dog and placed Pip beside his head. Morning brought laughter and disbelief as the family followed the feather trail to Barnaby. "Have you been after the birds again?" Mrs. Miller asked, brushing off Pip. Barnaby sneezed, wagging his tail, happy for the attention. Jasper yawned from a chair, the picture of innocence. The framing was elaborate, the results perfect. The family's suspicions of Barnaby deepened. Jasper's nightly escapades were becoming legendary. The elf's journey was far from over. Determined to outsmart Barnaby, Mrs. Miller devised a clever plan. She tiptoed into the kitchen, making sure no one was watching, and carefully hid Pip, the mischievous elf, atop the refrigerator, tucked securely behind a big box of Cheerios. She smiled to herself, certain that this time, her hiding spot was foolproof. After all, who would think to look up there? From below, the elf was completely invisible, camouflaged by the cereal box and the height of the fridge. But Jasper, the family's clever tabby, had seen this trick before. He knew the kitchen's every secret, and this hiding place was no exception. That night, with the house quiet and everyone asleep, Jasper leaped gracefully onto the fridge. He sniffed around, his whiskers twitching, and quickly found Pip. With a swift paw, he batted the elf out from behind the cereal, sending him tumbling to the kitchen floor. After a playful tussle, Jasper grabbed Pip gently in his mouth and trotted off. He carried the elf straight to Barnaby's food bowl, his tail held high in triumph. With a flourish, Jasper dropped the elf into the bowl, then nudged a few stray kibbles on top for good measure. He sat back, admiring his handiwork, proud of his cleverness. When morning came, Tom was the first to discover the scene. He shouted, "He's in Barnaby's bowl!" His voice echoed through the house, drawing everyone to the kitchen. The family gathered around, bursting into laughter at the sight of Pip nestled among the dog food. Even sleepy-eyed, they couldn't help but smile at the elf's new predicament. "Were you sharing breakfast with Pip?" Mrs. Miller teased, ruffling Barnaby's ears as the dog wagged his tail, looking both confused and hopeful for a treat. From the doorway, Jasper purred contentedly, watching the commotion with a satisfied gleam in his eyes. He knew he'd pulled off another perfect heist. The humans, of course, were quick to blame poor Barnaby, who only looked up at them with innocent eyes, unaware of the true culprit. Each new hiding spot became a stage for Jasper's nightly tricks, and he relished the challenge of outsmarting his family. The elf's misadventures quickly became the talk of the house, sparking laughter and playful debates about who would find Pip next. With every morning's discovery, Jasper's legend grew. The family marveled at his cleverness, and even Barnaby seemed to respect his feline rival. For Jasper, the game was almost too easy, but he loved every minute of it. And so, the real culprit remained unseen, always one step ahead, ready for the next round of mischief. Mr. Miller hid Pip in his hiking boot in the mudroom, confident Barnaby would never find him. Jasper saw a cozy new toy box. That night, he fished Pip from the boot, batted him around, then devised a plan. Jasper carried Pip to Barnaby's bed, then fetched Mrs. Miller's slipper and placed it beside the dog. He perched Pip on the slipper, framing Barnaby for a late-night chew session. Morning brought Mrs. Miller's groan. "Not my slippers again!" The family laughed at the scene. Barnaby sniffed the slipper, and Jasper watched from the stairs, triumphant. The masterpiece of misdirection was complete. Each day, the family's suspicions of Barnaby grew. Jasper's schemes became more elaborate. The elf's journey was a nightly spectacle. The Miller house buzzed with laughter and confusion. Jasper's reign as master trickster continued. The dog's innocence remained unnoticed. Mrs. Miller placed Pip atop the fish tank, thinking it safe from Barnaby. Jasper, the true fish watcher, was not pleased. That night, he nudged Pip through the feeding hole. Splash! The elf floated, then sank beside Finley the goldfish. Morning brought panic. Pip was missing until Tom spotted him underwater. The family stared in disbelief at the soggy elf. "How did Barnaby do this?" Mr. Miller exclaimed, baffled. Barnaby wagged in the doorway, clueless. Jasper watched, satisfied, as the family's confusion deepened. The elf's adventures had reached new depths. The dog's reputation was in tatters. Jasper's mischief was unmatched. After the fish tank fiasco, the Millers set up a webcam to solve the mystery. Pip was placed on the coffee table, the camera aimed and ready. Night fell. Jasper emerged, leaped onto the table, and began his routine. The camera captured every move. Jasper batted Pip, pushed him off, and nudged him to Barnaby's paw. For the finale, Jasper draped Barnaby's ear over the elf. Morning came. Mr. and Mrs. Miller watched the footage, stunned, then burst into laughter. Jasper's stealth, his playful attack, and his perfect framing of the dog were all revealed. The mystery was solved. The culprit was the cat. The family's suspicions were confirmed. Jasper's secret reign was over. The truth was out, but the fun was just beginning. The children would soon learn the real story. The elf's adventures had a new twist. The Miller house would never be the same. Jasper's legend was secure. That morning, the family gathered to watch the video. Lily and Tom gasped as Jasper's nightly antics played out on screen. "It was Jasper all along!" Lily shrieked, laughing. Tom hugged Barnaby. "We kept blaming you, poor Barnaby." The golden retriever basked in the attention, tail thumping. From then on, the elf-on-the-shelf tradition became a game of, what did Jasper do? Pip still moved each night, but now the family looked for bite marks and clever setups. Jasper would feign innocence, but everyone knew the truth. The nightly showdown between cat and elf continued until Christmas Eve. Jasper seemed almost disappointed when Pip left for the North Pole. But he knew Pip would return next year, and so would the mischief. The Miller house was at peace, already awaiting the next December's Cat vs. Elf showdown.